Hi guys, welcome back to Finpact. Today we're going to take a look at Cardano and what's been happening with the Vassal upgrade. Before we jump into this video, guys, this video is sponsored by Bit4x. Bit4x is one of my favorite exchanges to use, so I will be showing my price analysis on there as I love using their chart analysis tools as well. Okay, before we jump into what's been happening to Cardano's price, let's do a quick summary of the markets. Bitcoin dropped below $17,800 last week and it bounced back to $21,500. Since then, we are hovering around the $20,000 mark. All of this has been as a result due to the global economic meltdown and the macroeconomic headwinds we are seeing. Number one, we have inflation in the world right now, the highest we've seen in a very long time. And to combat this, the Federal Reserve have increased interest rates. On top of that, we've had a geopolitical crisis that is still persisting, which has caused supply chain constraints in many industries around the world, and it has also impacted the crypto markets. We've also seen commodity prices rising, fuel prices rising. Just overall, nothing seems to be in our favor. But we are seeing some of the best dips we have seen in a very, very long time, particularly in Cardano's price. So many people are complaining, saying, oh, we're in a bear market. Yes, but many of you guys complained about when the prices were really high and you wish you got in earlier. At least that's my personal opinion by the dip. Anyway, transitioning over to the crypto markets, we've seen the whole Terra UST crash, the Terra Luna revival plan with Terra 2.0, which was a big fail. And I've covered that in my previous video. And that crash has caused a domino effect on a lot of altcoins and stablecoins. Magic Internet Money also depegged. So as you can see, the repercussions have been huge, but some of the fundamentals and major projects have not changed. And as you know on this channel, I've always been an advocate of Cardano, primarily because the co-founder Charles Hoskinson has a very methodical approach. He's very pragmatic. The approach he's always had with Cardano is to have it peer-reviewed and have the code verified by cryptographers all around the world from top institutions. Now with Cardano, we have the long-awaited Vassal upgrade, which is a huge component to the dApp development in the Cardano ecosystem. But unfortunately, the Vassal upgrade, which was scheduled to be in June, has been delayed to July. And this hard fork has been delayed due to pending bug fixes, which Charles Hoskinson wants to address before they deliver the Vassal upgrade. Actually, just to point out, this is something I really like. Many of you guys have always called Cardano, they take so long to deliver upgrades, blah, blah, blah. But have we seen what happens when a crypto team rushes into a project and doesn't fix things? I mean, Solana has had outages. We've had Terra. Well, let's not even go there. We know what happened with Terra. So personally, I think the slow and steady approach is what we need in the cryptocurrency markets right now. We had a huge frenzy with the bull run where so many developers and crypto companies were rushing in to deliver a project without making sure that every nook and cranny and gap was filled, especially when it comes to code. Making sure there are no loopholes is incredibly important. And I've always believed that Charles Hoskinson's approach has been to make sure every loophole, at least to the best of their abilities, is filled. Jumping onto Bit4x and using their spot trading chart for ADA, we can see that currently the price of ADA is 47 cents. Or just about under 48 cents. And if you guys remember when we saw the all-time highs reaching $2.45 and then it crashed to around $1.30 and it was stabilized at that point for so long during the bull run when we saw other altcoins popping, well, a lot of people, when they saw those all-time highs, were saying, we wish we got into Cardano at earlier points. I got into Cardano back in August 2021 when the price was around 30 cents. And so many of my friends were asking me, how did you know to get in then? Well, I just did my research. I watched every Charles Hoskinson video. I literally read Cardano's website back and forth, started Googling what the hashes were, what the Goguen era, and all the different upgrades that they had in the Cardano roadmap. And currently we are reaching the Vassal hard fork upgrade. So we saw the all-time high between August and September 2021 when we were like hovering around a $2.45 sort of Cardano, and then we went downhill because clearly the bull run was ending. We did see a little spike in November 2021, and then it's mainly been downhill. However, I have drawn some support and resistance lines to show you where I think the price can be heading in the next few months, depending on the Vassal upgrade being rolled out on time. I know they have delayed it, and that's why we've seen a price slump. As we've seen right now, it's been down almost 6% in the last 24 hours. But as we approach July, if they do have the Vassal upgrade roll out as planned, and we get the entire Cardano dApp ecosystem starting to develop, then we could see some prices around the $1 Cardano range at the higher end. Remember, this is a bear market, which is why we're not going to see huge $3 Cardanos just yet. In the long term, absolutely, I personally do think that we can see a $5 Cardano, maybe even a $10 Cardano in the next bull run, provided Bitcoin hits $100,000. But again, that is just my own personal opinion. But on the lower end, if the Vassal upgrade does get delayed further and further, or the bear market gets even worse, then we could see Cardano sitting at around 20 to 15 cents at the lower end. But again, that's not something to be really afraid of. Personally, I think that's a great time to buy in if we see another dip. Cardano is one of those ecosystems that's almost become too big to fail at this point, especially in the cryptocurrency sector. It is one of the long-standing ones that are there, and I do like Charles Hoskinson's approach. I know a lot of people want just quick returns. Hey, what's going to next 100x? Yes, you do get those projects, especially those launch pads that are launching and those new ICOs that can have the tendency to do that. Not always. Remember, they can't always do that. But with Cardano, I like that we've seen, if you get in at 30 cents, some people saw like a 5x return just before they got in, before the bull run started. But again, this is not financial advice. Make sure you do your own research irregardless. But nevertheless, I am and have always been bullish on Cardano. I truly believe that their approach is very different to what other cryptocurrencies do. Of course, some of them do follow in Cardano's footsteps and do like the peer-reviewed approach and do take it step by step. But with Terra Luna, for example, there was a huge hype about it. Even I was really excited about it in some of my previous videos. But I guess when you get that much momentum and so many dApps coming in so quickly in a new cryptocurrency that has just launched, a new blockchain that has just launched during the last year, then there isn't enough years to be able to spot the bugs. And so that brings me on to why the Vassal upgrade has been delayed. So Cardano has postponed the Vassal upgrade by 4 weeks due to the pending bug fixes. So Input Output Global announced in a blog post that after some consideration, we have decided not to send the hard fork update proposal to the testnet today to allow more time for testing. Very important. I love this. I love that they're testing this. If only people tested UST a bit more. If only people tested other things more. Wouldn't cryptocurrency world be a happier place? Now remember, the Vassal upgrade is one of the most significant upgrades we've seen for Cardano since the Alonzo upgrade that took place last September. And this Vassal upgrade comes from the long-planned transition from the Goguen era to the Basho era. As you can see, it's about scaling, so it comes from an era of optimization to improve scalability and interoperability of the network. Whereas if you look at the previous eras, they were focused on decentralization and introducing smart contracts. Specifically, the Vassal hard fork will bring in 4 key network improvements: CIP31, CIP32, and CIP33, and CIP40. I'm not a developer, but I will try to explain to the best of my ability what these CIP upgrades are. So CIP stands for Cardano Improvement Proposals. CIP31 is to create a new way for developers to reference an input, allowing them to look at the result of an output without having to spend it. So what they're trying to say is that before the Vassal upgrade, the output initially would have had to be spent to know the information of the datum attached to the output. By the way, the word datum sounds complicated, but it simply means a piece of information. So let's go into CIP32, which is that it allows datum, so pieces of information, to be attached to outputs. So this information is attached to the output instead of the pieces of information hashes. Currently, the datum's hash is attached to the output, and therefore the full amount of information is required to finish the process. But with this new update, developers can code scripts that point to the inputs directly. CIP33 is to allow reference scripts that we mentioned before to be attached to outputs. So basically, these reference scripts will be used to satisfy the validation requirements on the blockchain. Another huge part of the upgrade is diffusion pipelining. This is basically an upgrade to the block propagation time. The block propagation time is the average time needed for a new block to reach the majority of the nodes in the network. So basically, reducing the block propagation timing essentially makes the blockchain faster. And Charles Hoskinson has also said that the stakes have never been higher with the Vassal upgrade. And I want to read you guys this quote that he said. He said that what code complete effectively means is you probably could flip the switch and get away with it. And certain projects would do that. But what happened after the collapse of Terra Luna is that I gave a directive to a lot of the engineers to say we should probably measure 3 times and cut once given the nature of things. It's exactly what I was saying. Learning from mistakes of other cryptocurrency projects is the way forward. And I do believe, in my personal opinion, that Charles Hoskinson has his head screwed on right. So guys, what do you think is going to happen with the Cardano price in the next coming months with the Vassal upgrade? And also guys, don't forget to check out Bit4X. Also remember, none of this is financial advice. Make sure you do your own research before you invest in anything. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!